All right, as people are starting to come in here, I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Jeremy Weed. Um, and I decided I wanted to do a new Animusic style animation. Um, but I haven't done one in a while, first of all, and I wanted some motivation, good motivation to do it. So I figured I would live stream my process. So let me transition over here so you can see me. Hello, everyone. Um, so this is my channel, and you can see I've got a bunch of videos up, but quite a while ago, if we scroll down far enough, yeah, you can see I had a little 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I had a little bit of an Animusic kick. Oh, hey, some people are coming in the chat. Good to see all of you. Thank you for joining me. I'm excited to do this. But yeah, you can see I had a little bit of Animusic kick. I made five, well, four and a half. This first one didn't really count. Um, it was just messing with drums. You can see it's very drum machine inspired. I just realized my there you go. That was my attempt at like a early 2000s logo type thing. But yeah, so I did those. My favorite one of the four I did is this one, "Hark the Herald Angels Sing." Um, I really like this one. It's Christmassy. I think it's pretty. I think the Animusic style lended itself nicely to Christmas. I did this one really quickly too, and then I also actually in a student film competition won an award for this one. This one got second in the state under the music video category, so I was pretty proud of that. I mean, that was really exciting to win an award for this, and that definitely contributes to my liking of this one. But this one's definitely my favorite. And so this time, what I've decided to do is I want to do a Kahoot one. I don't know how that'll go, but that's what we're going to try. So I was going to Discord today, the Animusic Discord, and I was scrolling back through some of the conversations I had been a part of, and me and someone else had talked about someone was talking about the Kahoot music, and I was like, oh, it'd be funny. This is like 2020. I was like, oh, it'd be funny if I did an Animusic animation with the Kahoot music, and everyone's like, yeah, you should do that. And I saw it today, and I was like, I've been looking for something to do. That's the perfect excuse. So we'll try the Kahoot music. Now, some interesting things about Animusic songs and making them, I've noticed, is they don't lend themselves kindly to repetition. So "Hark the Herald Angels Sing" and "Take on Me" were both pop culture songs, and pop culture songs are really repetitive. I've noticed that gets really boring. Kahoot music is really repetitive, so that might get boring. So it might be shorter, like these Polytopia ones, but we'll see. It'll be a fun experiment, and you guys will be there for every step of the way. Let me see the chat. There's been a couple messages. You've seen some of my other projects and you think they're cool. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I have a lot of fun doing them. I'm really proud of them, so that means a lot. Thank you. What programs do I use for the music and animation? That's a great question. So for the music, I usually find MIDI files online. I'm not a music person in the least. I don't know music very well at all. So all of these that I've done before were all MIDI files that I found online. Um, and then someone said hi. Hello, crappy pastry. I almost said pasta. Sorry, pastry. Good to see you. And you said the Animusic server's in chaos right now. Oh no, I like the Animusic server. Why is it in chaos? That makes me sad to see. So step one of making one of these is scouring the internet for a MIDI file. So let's just look up Kahoot MIDI. Kahoot music MIDI. We'll start with that. So there's specific requirements. We don't want, a lot of time. Oh, that just straight up downloaded it. A lot of times, it's piano, but I don't want piano. I need multiple instruments, layered on top of each other and make the actual animation. I just realized I don't think I have a program that can open MIDI files. I used to do these on the family computer, and I now have my own laptop, but I don't have a bunch of stuff. So this video will be or this stream rather, will be a lot of getting that stuff. And let me make a new file real quick. We're gonna call it Animusic, and then Kahoot theme. I like to keep my stuff organized with a lot of folders, and then music. And if you guys have any suggestions for anything, I'm all ears. I wanna kind of build this with people this time. I think that'd be interesting. I don't have to necessarily take your suggestions, but I love hearing them. VCL plays, we'll see, or VLC. Let's look at the chat. So recently we've been doing Roblox live streams, and they haven't been doing great. So it's weird to actually have a chat with this. I knew this would do a little bit better. A lot of us are involved in a huge in-joke chaos. May have been an exaggeration. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the servers always have the funniest jokes, so it's good to see that's continued. I haven't used Discord a lot, honestly, recently. And as an extension of that, I just haven't checked the Animusic Discord. I do read through it every now and again, just to see some recent stuff, but I haven't been as active as I wish I had on any Discord server, honestly. Let's see if VLC will play this for us. Well, we're not going to update it, and no errors. Or there are errors, rather. Okay, that's interesting. Does anyone in the chat know a good program to play MIDI files? I'm going to search play MIDI files online. Cloud MIDI player. I recently got this Google Labs thing, and it's essentially ChatGPT when you do Google searches. So you can search up a question, and then it'll give you generative AI. So that's what that is, in case you haven't seen that. How long have I been animating for? That's a really good question. I want to say 6 or 7 years now. I think it was 2016 I started. I have my early stuff on here. And that's just honestly 3D animation. I've been doing 2D and more specifically stop motion even longer. Yeah, I'll play this stuff. It'll be kind of interesting to see. So my first introduction to, this was my very first 3D animation right here. My first introduction to 3D animation was Minimator, which I adored. It allowed you to do Minecraft animations. And then after Minimator, I found Blender and then started doing Blender. And so started with Minecraft animations and then kind of got into simulations. And then in 2018, I did my first story-driven 3D animated project. Where? So yeah, seeing this stuff's always funny because that's pretty terrible. I mean, that doesn't look great. And then if you go, what's the last Roblox thing I did? I don't do a lot of Roblox animations, never have. But yeah, this trailer, the animation's not going to be great, but it's quite a bit better than what you just saw. This trailer I did in 3 days, and there are so many things I would do different, but it was incredible to do it that quickly. This game still hasn't come out. It is on, in case you follow us, it is on the shelf right now. We're working on some other things, but this game's not dead. It's just pushed to the side. I'm getting really sidetracked right now. Yeah, and then that was all hand animated. There's no like fancy tricks or anything there to make that work. That is just pure animated that ball coming out, pipe hitting that piano. Same with this. That is just hand animated. There's nothing. Yeah, this is my first Blender animation. But yeah, there was nothing that made it Animusic. You know, the whole point of Animusic is that it's like automatically animated. What inspired me to start animation? I started animation. I had a couple inspirations. Animusic being a big one. I used to, with Tinker Toys, try to build Animusic lasers. I don't know if you know anything about Tinker Toys, but they have like the round pieces, and then you can attach wood sticks to them. And so I'd do that and then turn them like they were the lasers, and imagine that it's Animusic. And then I started doing stop motion animation a really long time ago with clay. I did clay first. Actually, I just realized I have my first clay animation puppet right over here. This has to be like a decade old, I think. Here he is. Hold on, I have a preset where you can see me in full size. Here he is, first animation puppet. I mean, kind of. The clay's hard now. I mean, it's so old. And but I did stop motion because I was inspired by Shaun the Sheep. I don't know if anyone's here has seen that. It's a UK cartoon, but I absolutely adored Shaun the Sheep, and that's why I started doing that. And then I did Lego stuff. That was actually my very first video on this channel. Was Lego stop motion, and then it just evolved from there. And I eventually got to do Animusic stuff. I got good enough, which you guys have seen. That was awesome. That was so cool, because I mean that's always been my dream. And then after that, it's just been lots of different stuff. What would you say was my hardest or biggest project? Okay, so I think the hardest project, consequently the one I'm most proud of, would be it's my channel trailer. It's my profile picture. Internet's running slow right now because of the live stream. Slash and burn. So this was the very first animation I did that was story driven. Before this, none of them had stories. They were just like little tests to see if I could do it. And then this was the very first one where there was a story, a clear story. It was 7 minutes. It was for the same competition that the other Animusic won. And this one actually won first in state. So but yeah, to this day I'm still proud of it because I had never done anything like this. Like this was, I figured everything out along the way. And so that was a cool experience. And I'm still proud of it. There's definitely loads of things I would do differently this time around, but I'm still proud of the things I was able to do. I was trying to make it look like clay. And yeah, these shots here are nice and pretty, and I like the colors, and it kind of looks like clay. I mean, it looks like CG clay, but it sort of worked. But yeah, I was really proud of this one. So thank you for that question. What was the clay model supposed to be? I don't know. I think it was just supposed to be a figure of some kind, like a humanoid. It had 2 legs, 2 arms. Fun fact, actually. So, slash and burn, if you haven't seen it, you have this. Looking for a full body shot. Here, we'll just do this. You have this big orange blob and this little purple pinkish worm snake creature. And the whole reason they're shaped like that is because I noticed from my own personal experience, anytime you give kids clay, they always make one of 2 shapes. The more simple kids will make a worm, roll their hands out like this, make a worm shape. The more advanced kids will make a ball, pinch the edges, and make that big round shape. So it's like I wanted to look like stop motion. So this is what kids do when they do stop motion, or when they make clay. So that's what I'm going to make my 2 characters look like. So that's why it's a blob and a worm, because that's where I've got that idea from. I don't know, just a fun fact I've never gotten to share publicly before. You remember watching Slash and Burn? It was very creative. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You love the 2 characters. Their personality was adorable and funny. Yeah, I was actually really proud of their character, and I think that's where my strong suit is getting a lot of character out of very little. I mean, they don't have mouths. Is just 2 eyes, and I was able to squeeze all the emotion I needed out of 2 eyeballs. I mean, I think that's where my strong suit is. I like more simplistic characters. As far as character, I mean, 2 eyes has been my signature design forever. And I get that from Aardman stuff like Shaun the Sheep, but I mostly get that from Plants vs. Zombies. My art style is kind of Aardman mixed with Plants vs. Zombies mixed with like Simpsons, all sort of put together. And all 3 of those have those big bug eyes that I don't know why I'm drawn to that. I think you can get a lot out of that, but it's still simple. And yeah, there's some fun art style facts for you. That's a very interesting idea. I had an idea as how these 2 characters came to be, being based off how kids play clay. Oh, you had no idea. Yeah. It was just something I did to sell the effect of it being stop motion. And I think it was successful. I'm proud of that decision. This is some old animation stuff I did. But yeah, I just wanted, that's what I wanted them to look like. I actually made the orange dude. I have a cabinet with a bunch of my clay models right next to this desk. I actually made the orange dude, who doesn't have a name, by the way. Neither of them have an official name. He's not perfect, but he's pretty close. Some of his proportions are off though. Yeah, I wanted to see if I could make him, and kind of could. If you've ever seen Sir Squash and the Cyclops, that was the one after Slash and Burn. I actually pretty successfully made him. If you've ever seen that, that's pretty much exactly what he looks like. Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up. Let me see. That's pretty solid. I mean, that's what it looks like. Proud of this model. This model is perfect. I wouldn't do this different at all. I mean, that's just straight up what he looks like. I have a shelf behind here too, but it's being keyed out. Thank you. Pretty good, yeah. Have I ever considered doing frame by frame 2D animation, or have I tried that before? Yes, I have tried that before. I love it. I'm not great at drawing. I'm trying to get better. I'm in college right now for animation, and a huge part of that's obviously drawing. The most recent thing I've done that's 2D is Warped Reality. And you can see it's pretty simplistic. It's not frame by frame. It's puppet animation, which is pretty much just the same thing as how 3D animation works. And then the backgrounds, pretty obviously, are 3D. This whole shot here is 3D. But yeah, these characters, that's the closest thing I've done to 2D recently. And I'd like to get better at hand drawing. I love how 2D animation works. I think it's such a pure, raw way to do animation. My specialty is 3D animation, but my favorite is stop motion, and then below that is 2D, and then below that's 3D. So it's kind of funny that it's 3D that I do. But yeah, you can see, getting some different emotions out of them. I always like these blank stares when the character's not in the scene. It might not be the best practice, or not necessarily not in the scene, but just not doing anything. The blank stares are funny to me. Another facial expression I always love is not that one, but yeah, that just, I don't know, that's always funny to me. That's very Bob's Burgers, but that's funny. Puppeting and 3D animation is pretty fun. I absolutely love 2D frame by frame, but a bit more challenging at times. Super worth it though, despite it being very time consuming. Absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree. There's nothing better than 2D animation. Well, stop motion, I guess, in my opinion. But yeah, 2D animation is so rewarding when you see it playing out. I absolutely love 2D animation. It's beautiful. I am doing a terrible job at actually doing my my job for this. So let's open this MIDI file real quick and see if we can get it to play. I love answering these questions, though, so please keep them going. I get so distracted. Alright, I've never used this before, but can we just play it? Please disable ad block for free use. Can I do that just like on this site? There. Turn everything off. Oh, now there's ads. No, I haven't had ads in so long. See? See, but this MIDI player might just be, might just only play pianos. Plays in displays MIDI files online. Let's try this one. Choose file. This one's pretty good. This one's solid. And you could probably end the... Oh, I guess it does keep going. It is very repetitive, though. Can I skip? Alright, so this one's pretty solid. Let's see if we can find any others real quick, just before we commit to one. See, that's accurate recreation on piano. Would you ever be interested in animating for a video game someday, like making the artwork for it in animation, of course? Yeah, actually. I mentioned this I think earlier in the stream, but me and my friend and my brother have a Roblox group and we make games. I've done a couple of animations for those games. I actually kind of like video game animation. It's satisfying in a certain way. It's cool to be able to see it there, and walk around it and stuff. So doing work for a video game might be cool. I'm keeping my options open right now as to what I want to do, after college. Um, but yeah, that's definitely on the table. I think that'd be really neat. Since you said you're taking suggestions for the set, maybe the four shapes of the Kahoot be involved in some way. Yes. So I was thinking about it. Kahoot is very, very modern, simplistic style. You've got those four shapes and you've got those four colors. Those definitely need to be incorporated in some way. Maybe have all the instruments fall under those four shapes. I was trying to do it with my hand. Have all the instruments fall under those four shapes and have everything be those four colors. I haven't decided on the set. We can actually talk about that right now. I'll take all sorts of suggestions from you guys. Absolutely love suggestions. But yeah, I was trying to figure out this MIDI player, whichever one. Yeah, this one's cool. But I had one before that would tell me what each track was called, so I could see what instrument it was. I need to find what the MIDI player was. Let's just see. I like the MuseScore ones. MuseScore is usually pretty good. It's just piano. Yeah, the one I found might be the best one. What is the most difficult part of animation for you? Different things can present different challenges. Movement is something I want to work on. Getting good character movement. I mean, that's just animation, but that's definitely something I'd like to put some effort into. I really like lighting and materials. I don't know why. But yeah, oh, that's not the size canvas I wanted. Yeah, movement. The actual animation aspect of it is something I'd like to get better at. I don't think I'm terrible, but I don't think I'm great. Yeah, more fluid animation, but even more so than fluid, getting character out of it, but also making it feel like it's not just keyframe to keyframe. Because I feel like when you watch back my animation, it feels very much like it's this action happens, then this action happens. Whereas I want it to, if you don't notice that when you watch like a movie or something, it flows naturally. That's something I think I'd like to do. So one idea I just got was talking about that for the set is stage here. Oh, maybe. Hold on, let me look up a Kahoot screenshot real quick. Yeah, in betweens. Better in betweens. Oh, just Kahoot. Images. All right, what? All right, so red is triangle. So here's my current set idea. You guys can tell me what you think. Hold on, I have a lot of tabs open. Live streaming always requires a bunch of tabs. I gotta find them all. There we go. Okay, so let me backspace this. All right, so you have a stage here, and it's the triangle, right? With some kind of instrument here. I don't know what. And then next to that, you have the blue rhombus. So it's like boop, boop, boop. Yeah, it's a little further back. And then on the right side of this stage, you have the yellow, what is it, circle? Yellow circle. And then more towards the camera, you have the green square. And it's perspective like that. So you have different instruments on each of these stages. And then, there might be spotlights coming down or something. I need to figure out what the different instruments in that track are before I commit to this idea. But it sounds like there's like a tuba or something, so tuba is a very round instrument to me. So we're going to put the tuba on the yellow podium. So everything in the yellow podium can only be shades of yellow. And then, you got some kind of big tuba This is stick figures brass contraption. I'll have to figure out how I want to do it. You know, these are the horns. Like that. Yellow's hard to see on the background. Purple and white is what I was thinking of, like general colors, like between the stages, since they use the primary colors. I agree, yeah. So, and then you said maybe white background and purple lighting, yeah, or maybe swap that because purple lighting won't show each of the colors equally. You know, like blues and reds will be a little bit stronger. Green will be black, I think, under purple lighting, and then yellow might be black too. I don't know off the top of my head. So maybe have purple background with white lighting on it. Um, Purple and white could be primary aesthetic. IDK be changed out. Yeah, purple and white are definitely need to be included. Let me play around with it real quick and let me see something. And one thing I think I want to do for this one. So there's different render engines, which is how it processes it. But the two main ones are Eevee, which is real time, like a video game render engine, and then we've got Cycles. Cycles is slower but more realistic. I think Cycles is what I want to do for this one. For my longer ones in the past, I've done Eevee just for faster render times, but this time I think I want to commit to Cycles. And it is commit because render times will be a lot higher. All right, so we have a white light on a cube, and then we're going to make this cube. Here, we'll make 4 different cubes. And so this cube will be red. I want to see what these colors look like under purple lighting, because maybe like at some point having the lights be purple might be cool, but I don't know. I don't think the colors will be represented evenly. What is the other color? I completely forgot. Yellow, the one I started with. All right, and then we'll set this to area light. Okay, so that's white light. You can see they all look how we'd expect them to look. And then purple, it looks like... Ooh, yeah, the green and the yellow. Interesting. Yeah, more bluish purple. Oh, we'll set the background to black so there's no extra light. So these are what the different colors look like under white, or not white, rather, purple lighting. So you can see, yeah, green went black, which is pretty much what I was expecting. Almost purple. Green went purple. And then this is yellow, I believe, and that's gone, yeah, it's yellow, and that's gone red. The yellow and the red are, the yellow is more red than the red is, interestingly enough. But, yeah, some of the colors do look gross with purple lighting. Purple lights are cool, though. That's always one of my favorite things in Animusic is when they change the lighting. It's something I did in the Take On Me, and it's something I did with the Hark the Herald, Angels Sing. And I love the color changes. So I will consider a way to work this in maybe at some point because I really like that idea. But we need, before anything else, we need a free MIDI software. That's the one I had, I think. LMMS. Let's see what this site recommends. Again, if any of you know of any, let me know. MIDI editor was another one I had. I think that's more for viewing. This one was easy. We're gonna start with this one. Yeah, it's probably fine. We're gonna start with this one, and then we will go from there. Maybe for whatever reason it doesn't work. Oh, I just saw my downloads, and that reminded me. I downloaded the Animusic music as a background track for this, and then I haven't used it. Let me turn that on real quick, just so it's not. If I'm, you can. There's something there if I'm not talking. Where is it? Live stream, music. There we go. Turn that down. Let me know if that's too loud or anything. I just wanted background sound for you guys, and I can listen to it too. But yeah, we're gonna install MIDI editor, and don't worry, I'll pause the music when we're listening to the MIDI files. Did it download? Yeah. Yeah, I remember. So I had this one and the LMMS one. Each one had its pros and cons, but I don't remember those pros and cons since it was 2 years ago that I made these. Untitled track, untitled track, untitled track. But this will allow us to isolate the tracks and we can try to figure out what they are and what they sound like. So let me pause this. Output is not connected. Can't you just play it for me to listen to? Playback. This is all part of the process. Settings. All right, I'm just gonna click that. Yeah, it started out really loud and then I turned it down just so it's background sound. Alright, so we're just going to turn off everything. Actually, we'll start on track 1. Hide, hide, hide. Wait, that doesn't mute it. That mutes it? Yeah, there we go. Mute, 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 mute. Oh, and we'll turn them off just so we can look at it. What is this? Track 0. Alright, track 0 doesn't do anything. Good to know. I'm going to pull up a Google Doc right now and write down what each track does. So, Kahoot, music, MIDI, track, key. There we go. We're going to move this over here. Maybe not. Move this over here. There we go. Alright, so track 0 is nothing. Let's listen to track 1. Track 1 is nothing? Alright, is there something I'm missing? Alright, track 2 is something. So track 1 is nothing. Track 2 is, what could this be? What is that? Some kind of bass or something? What do you guys think that instrument is? I'm going with bass, right? Alright, I'm thinking bass, unless it is suggested otherwise. I need to close some tabs. It's always weird to hear it one off like that. Alright, let's see what's next. Track 3. What's track 3 gonna be? Oh, this is just like a synthesizer. I'm just gonna write higher pitch synthesizer. It's also kind of keeping the beat. Alright. Track 4 is a cowbell? I think that's a cowbell. Is that a cowbell? I really need, if anyone watching this is musical or has any musical friends, please let me know, because I am not musical in the least, and I need that here. So I think that's the preset sounds familiar. I think these are default Windows MIDI presets, so it probably does sound familiar. If I recall correctly, there was like preset MIDI tracks installed on Windows, and that's what this program uses. I think that's when I set that output. I think that's what that meant. Oh, that's our drum. Okay, cool. What track is this? Track 5. All right. This kind of responds to track 3, right? Oh no, it says echo and it is just an echo. Interesting. And what's this echoing? Okay, cool. So high pitch echo, and then track. Which one is it? 7. Track 7 is the low pitch. Is the bass echo, I'll call it. And then track 8, what's it gonna be? It says it's another echo, but I don't know what it echoes. Oh, it echoes. Okay, so track 8 is the cowbell echo. Cool. So we have 3 instruments. We have high pitch synth. We have the bass, cowbell, drums. Okay, this is more than. And we have 4 instruments. And then everything else is an echo. So these are the instruments that can make up our 4 podiums we decided on here. So I think the bass, we have to decide. So this is where like color theory and shape theory come into play. We have to decide which instrument sounds like which shape. So let's listen to the high-pitched synth first, which is track 3. Also, I said keeps beat. That's not really right, I'm realizing. That's okay. So we definitely want this one to be in the front. This one sounds like a triangle to me. I don't know why. It just does. I'm going to give it triangle. And then next we have bass. Bass sounds like a circle to me. I can say off the bat, but listen to it anyway. Yeah, that's just got a circle sound. I don't know how to explain it. If you disagree with any of these, by the way, please feel free to weigh in. I welcome it. And then cowbell, blue for bass. Which one's blue? Let's see. Oh, do you think rhombus? Ooh. Ooh. I kind of like that. I won't lie. We can't mix the colors and the shapes, right? They don't do that in the game. Each shape has its color, I think. Blue is a better color. Circle is a better shape to me. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna write that down. So it'll be yellow circle or blue rhombus. Cowbell, I think, is forward. I think cowbell being green square. Most bass instruments are blue. Yeah, I think you're right. And in fact, I think in my Take on Me, the bass was blue. Let's see. I'm going to reference myself real quick. I think I had like this bass guitar that was down below. And it was blue. Yeah, that thing. See? Blue. You can see it's right there. And I made it blue. I think you're convincing me on it being the blue rhombus. I think you might have won this one. All right, and then I think looking at this, I think I think the cowbell should be the circle and bring the circle to the front. So yellow circle is in the front, red triangle is in the front, and then blue rhombus is in the back, and then drums are green square, which is in the back. And that's because drums are usually in the back. And I realize that the cowbell thing should be with everything else, but I mean, not with everything else. It should be with percussion, but it makes a significant of enough sound to me that it gets its own podium. That's just what I'm thinking. I like that progress. I have the Animusic Discord pulled up, and someone sent a what are those called? Someone sent one of those icebergs, and I cannot find it. Here it is. Where was it sent? Fan creation. The Animusic community iceberg. You know what? I'm gonna pull it up right now. We can look at it on stream together. As a quick distraction from our work, because we made good work. All right. Crappy Pastry, who was on this stream, is at the top. You did that. Well, I'm going to review yours. iMac. I love iMac. iMac. The incorrect. Oh, it's incorrect. Got it. iMac was. I remember when he hadn't done anything in Blender yet, and he asked me like a couple questions at first, but that did not last long because he very quickly, like, the questions were more than I knew because he started getting like into the math stuff and whatnot, and that's when I was unable to help him anymore. But it was iMac. It was kind of cool to help him and see how far he went. Dave and Wayne, yeah, they deserve to be there. GrooveBot, Animusic archival project. If I'm not in the Joker Pro, that's fine. Yeah, I haven't been on here in so long. Fun fact, another fun fact for you. I actually made this AAP logo. I made it for Animusic archival project. Someone else I love from the Animusic server, by the way. AAP is awesome. He's great, and that is a logo I made for him. Is there an A1 and A2 community? That's funny. I like that. You know what's funny? I actually tried to find this John guy. I'm sure lots of people have. I looked. I couldn't really, if I remember, I couldn't really find anything about him anywhere. Just fun. The AI dosa? What do you mean? Oh, the AI thought so. Wait, the AI thought what? Sorry, there's a delay on the live stream, so I don't know what you're referencing. I like your thing though. These icebergs are always funny to me. I always love those like 40-minute videos. I do deep dives on them. It's a good submission. Good job. Oh yeah, there it is. That's you. All right. So, what do you think about this list? I think I'm happy with this, and I think we can start planning things in Blender. So now what we have to do is we have to visualize what does a high-pitched synth sound like. I'm thinking maybe laser. What does the bass sound look, or not sound like, rather look like? This all started because Crappy Pastry did stuff with the Bing AI. Thanks, by the way. Oh, the Bing AI. I actually haven't played with the Bing AI yet, but I've been meaning to. I saw the descriptions of, I think it was in spam, but the descriptions of the mods. I thought that was funny. This is awesome. This fan-made cover. That's really well done. But yeah, let's visualize some instruments. So let's start with the red synth. Let me close these tabs. Bring this tab over here. All right, red synth is track 3. So let's listen to track 3. So what I do when I do these is I just listen to the track and then draw what comes to mind while I'm listening to it. And they're not going to be great drawings, but that's okay. They're just to kind of visualize what I want to see. So I immediately visualize something like this. Vertical moving laser, horizontal moving laser, stick figure type, or harmonic voltage type. Oh, a harmonic voltage laser. Did I do one of those once? Let me see real quick. Did I? I don't think I've ever done a harmonic voltage laser. I haven't used the program I use in a while, so we're going to see what I'm able, because I know they've done a ton of updates on it, so we're going to see what I'm able to do in that. What I had in mind immediately was this shape, and then it shoots lasers that go across. It's hard to shade with the stabilizer on. So, you know, and it goes do 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 do, and I think it plays 2 notes. You know, it'll be do 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 do. That's kind of cool to me. But then, yeah, what you were talking about was like a kind of the same shape, and then you know the big weird pretzel looking thing. It goes up and down. I don't know if I think that should be possible in that plugin. Again, it's been so long since I've used it. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible or not. Let's see, what else do we have to do? All right, let's listen to the bass. There's definitely gonna be a lot of lasers, and I think that'll be good. I think that'll fit the aesthetic. Let's listen to the bass. Okay, so what I'm envisioning is very much something you'd see in like Animusic too. But you have like these circles on the ground like this. And, you know, when their note is played, we'll do this one. They shoot up a big column of light into the sky. You know, like that. Maybe there's like a electricity effect going around it or something. And then, but rather than being like, you know, in an orderly fashion from like biggest to smallest order, like normal instruments, this work kind of looks like Animusic too to me, but it's just kind of scattered around on the ground, like the choir lights and future retro. Yes, that's my kind of my inspiration for this. Slash the drums on the ground in heavy light. Let me show you. Heavy light. I mean, I know you know it. Does anyone in the Discord know who this guy is? Who has all the Animusics uploaded and amazing quality for, 12 years. He is my hero. But what I'm kind of picturing is, yeah, so you see how like it's got all these drums and stuff on the ground, and maybe they are in some kind of orderly fashion. Like how a drum kit would be laid out, but they look very random. I'm thinking like super random, and I think later on more things appear at the bottom. Yeah, I like that look. And then like the choir lights in Future Retro, they shoot up into the sky. indefinitely, or if they hit something, I'm not sure at the moment. Boom, boom. I really like this one. This one's so great. Yeah, this is my favorite part right here of this one. I love when those, I guess they're also choir lights. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's a good part. I really love this part. This one's awesome. This one was a huge inspiration for the Take on Me. You'll notice the background in Take on Me. I'll pause this here. The background in Take on Me is very, very similar.
You know what? Let's talk about AI.
See, mountains in the background. There's better shots of it, but it's a spacey background. We've got mountains, star over there. I really regret that sun, by the way. I think it looks terrible in these shots, but I loved how it lit these mountains. See that light just highlighting the mountains? I thought that was beautiful. I don't like how the star looks. We zoom out, you can see it better, right? Maybe not. Yeah, you can see the mountains there. But I got that straight from this. Just like completely ripped it off. One rule I have for myself when I make these is my number one rule, no matter what, and you'll see it's been true since I've been doing these: no balls. Everybody does balls, and I do not like Pipe Dream, because I mean that's the most famous one. That's probably the coolest one. I mean it's such a fun concept, and I have to restrain sometimes, but no balls. Every fan animation uses balls of some kind, you know, bouncing, hitting percussion instruments or whatever. No balls in mine. That's my rule, just to make them stand out, you know. Because I think it's what's the panda guy's name? If I search panda Animusic, you know, the my own Animusic, he uses very similar instruments in all of his, and Pipe Dream is kind of oversaturated. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I love Pipe Dream. I don't know. I don't know. My favorite, I think, is Cathedral Pictures, but Pipe Dream is just such a fun concept. Like, I think it's the most obvious concept for something like that, and it's great. I mean, it's just something everybody, I think, wanted in their lives, but didn't know they wanted. Panda gets so much hate in the server. But he kind of, I mean, he keeps Animusic alive. He or she, they, I don't know. They keep Animusic alive better than anyone else with these very frequent YouTube videos. And I mean, there's a lot of things that could be improved, no doubt. But I appreciate the effort that's put into them, I must say. There's a little bit of Panda love. Very controversial in the Discord server, I imagine. But like the camera motions are always linear, which bothers me because, you know, it's very start and stoppy. Oh, this one has no pulse. Everybody talks about Panda really. When I was active, people did a lot. I remember it was like daily someone would bring up Panda hate, and I think Panda was uploading a lot more back then, like once a month or whatever. Maybe a little less than that, but yeah, every Animusic fan animation uses balls, and that is my no. Oh, this is cool. It's a fan-made Animusic 3. Genesis, this one's outstanding. I mean, this one really does a good job of capturing the Animusic feel. Definitely the Animusic 1 feel. Really outstanding work. This one's probably one of the best ones out there. I remember the server exploded when this one came out. This one was a big deal. Really nice textures. It's so Animusic 1. This would be straight out Animusic 1. Absolutely, really well done. What else is on this playlist? I haven't seen Spaces before. Harmonic Balance is great. Ball Machine is great. I've seen this one. I forget. Oh, this is the iMac. I forget what happens in that one. I'm going to look at that. Ambient Glow is another great one. Laser Lights and Music is awesome. Yeah, iMac does some outstanding stuff. I mean, every time I see IMAX work, I'm blown away by it. I mean, from zero to hero with the Blender work, it's really outstanding. I mean, this one could have my favorite lighting of any of them. This, the way he lit this one and colored it looks so anime. I mean, this is what I imagine Animusic would look like today. It's this one could be the most faithful to Animusic visually. I think. Um, iMac is outstanding. Everything iMac does is amazing. Um, it's an awesome wallpaper too. Yeah, ambient glow's great. There's Nice Music is remaking all of Animusic 1. Yes, I saw that, and I saw a drum machine. Who is iMac on Laser Lights and Music? I think so, but I could be wrong. Because this one's colored and lit very similarly to that last one. I mean, that same sort of Animusic style. You know, this drum machine's so funny to me because it's been what 20 something years since the very first Animusic came out, and they made it look identical. And that is a pro and a con to me because it would have been kind of cool to see it with completely overhauled graphics, like make it look as photorealistic as possible, you know, because it still has that old Animusic feel. But at the same time, it's cool to get it so faithfully recreated in HD. I mean, like, I want to see someone overlay them on top of each other and see how closely the shots line up because this is so meticulously done. Having made these Animusic animations, when I see them, I have nothing but like praise for them. I mean, they're all the good ones and the bad ones all have some value to them to me. I mean, because they're all just so creative, honestly. I love this playlist, by the way, from Sam TMG. This playlist is great. I love how I mean, it's exactly what it is. Original masterpiece, great fan makes. And it's amazing to me what I particularly love about this playlist is, first of all, every time I go through it, I see a new video, and that's exciting. And I see, an Animusic fan one I haven't seen before. And then at the same time, it's just so cool to me to see Piggy Roblox theme. That's funny. It's so cool to me to see that there's this many out there. And I love just seeing all the different takes on it and people doing different creative things with it. Yeah, this Portal Music Sync video is awesome, by the way, if you haven't seen that. I forgot about this, Musimations. Does anyone know what happened with Musimations? I honestly, for a minute, thought that was the same as Laser Lights and Music. I forgot that they were different. I was looking for this one. I remember they were really promising. I think this came out the same year as my Hark the Herald. I think these both came out at the same time. This is a really pretty piece to do it with, too. I think it translates really well. The horns are so beautiful sounding. A really beautifully done piece. Yeah, have they done anything? I get so distracted doing these live streams, apparently. Oh, they haven't done anything in a while. Yeah, does anyone know what happened to them? Are they still up or... I mean, it's not looking like they're still active anymore. That's a shame. Alright, so one thing I want to do before we... sorry, adjusting on my seat. Before we go is I want to... I want to lay down just rough stuff. I'm going to put the Animusic song back on, get to work in Blender. So let's go here. Here, Blender file. All right, so let's take a look at the Photoshop document. So I swapped these two. Here, I'll just. It's terrible. I will use this pen. I will indicate that these two are swapped so I don't forget. And let me save this real quick. Alright, easiest way to make triangles in Blender is adding a circle and setting the sides to 3. Boom, triangle. So we want the triangle there. Then we want to... Oh no, this is the rhombus. So we're going to rotate 45, put that there, and then square. Having the squares next to each other will be good, I think. And then it's circle. The easiest way to make a circle is add a circle and set these sides back up to like 64, I think, roughly. All right, cool. Let's fill these in with some nice, pretty n-gons. Try this one. Now, one thing I have not learned how to do is if you have a circle like this, I don't know how to make the topology proper on a circle. Because, you know, you can... One trick I've found is you can do this and just go in a bunch of times. And then that makes it nice and grid. But you can't do that forever, obviously. So eventually you'll just have... No matter how far in you go, you'll still have the same issue in the center. And then the other thing I know you can do is you can delete the face. And then you can do face grid fill. But then it's always off kilter, kind of like that. I mean, I guess you could rotate it. I don't know. I've just never been a fan of this. How far is that, by the way? To make that. Is that line up? That's 28 degrees. No. RZ 28.2. 0.15. Nope. 0.13. 0.14. 0.131. Boom. Alright, we're just going to leave that temporarily. I kind of went on a tangent. So this is how I'm imagining this set. They're a little spaced out, I think, but... Oh, I didn't read your message. I'm sorry. It's only Zach and March indicating how much I'm active at the project. Okay, thank you. Cool. It looked very iMac-y for some reason. Is iMac still active? I haven't talked to iMac in a while. Not all shapes are created equal. This triangle looks like it's a lot smaller than the others, so we're going to help it out. There we go. It's kind of a fun room, you know, semicircle shape, I guess. Oh, I was hoping it would autoplay everything else in the library, but it's not. You're failing me, music software. My Mac is still very active. Good to hear. The set also looks great. Thank you. So this is the back room part of it. This might get changed later on, but I just want to block everything out. Well, there we go. That's looking kind of cool. Let's put in some temporary colors. So, so I could texture it realistically, like Animusics are done. You know, they're usually textured very, very realistically. Um, or I could do this smooth, more simplistic shading to kind of resemble Kahoot a little bit. Interesting. What do you guys think? All right. This blue is getting lost into the background, so we're going to brighten it up a little bit. Maybe somewhere in between. Wait, hold on. I completely forgot what question I asked. Oh, it might be time to end the 3 a.m. stream because I cannot remember what I just asked. What is wrong with me? Yeah, I keep making mistakes. I need to sleep soon. Texture. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good idea. Simplistic, subtle textures, like maybe like plastic or something, to indicate that it is real, but nothing too distracting. I really like that. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going crazy. Is it customary to do lighting first? Probably not, but nothing has to be customary. So one thing I always like about Animusic is you do stage lighting. Stage lighting is, or concert lighting rather, which is not customary in lighting a natural scene, but it's how concerts are lit, and theater productions are lit. Spotlights from above. That's how you have to light a stage. Um, Dang it! Do I have to manually start each song every time? But with Animusic, even in the original, they lit it like this. It's kind of a performance. So lighting it like a performance isn't weird to do, and it doesn't look unnatural. I mean, wow, I cannot type today. It just ends up looking right. I mean, it looks like how it should look in my opinion. So I like that aspect of it. Because if you do this kind of spotlight lighting in any other situation, it makes it look kind of dated. Because that's often how in old times these animations were lit. I'm gonna delete these, get this one looking right, and then add the others back in. This background is bothering me for some reason. I don't know if it's just because like it's a big purple blob. Maybe it's too purple. Maybe back on the purple a little bit. I'm going to be battling between the Kahoot aesthetic, which is very simplistic, and the Animusic aesthetic, which is very non-simplistic, very high detail. And so we're going to see how those two fight each other on this. Lighting this right now is, the more I think about it, the dumber it is, because there's nothing to light yet, really. There's no stages or anything. I'm going to have to make sure I name it. But like glowing. I like that a lot. I'm going to try to model what I cooked up here. I'm going to try to model this right here. And we're going to see what that looks like in real life. Real life in 3D. And then I'll probably go to sleep. I'm tired. Yeah, you said it's 1:30 there. It is 3:30 here. Way too late. This was something I've been wanting to do for a while, so I figured I wouldn't pass up a good time to do it. Thanks for being here, by the way. It means a lot that there's someone interested in watching the process. I've always enjoyed making these, and sharing my process online is something I've been afraid of doing for the longest time because, I don't want someone saying, like, oh, you're doing XYZ wrong. You're not doing it the right way. But I think I'm confident enough in my Blender skills to where, you know, if there's something I'm not doing the best way, I can be okay with that. So, thank you. Yeah, I definitely have to go to bed too soon. I'm not getting the exact shape. All right, I'm gonna have to figure out this music situation. Getting the exact shape I had pictured. I'll have to do some tweaks. Oops. Bevel, there it is. Let's drop this on the red podium real quick. Oops. I completely failed to consider this is in 3D and I was affecting the other sides of it. That's alright. It's just temporary. And I imagine this would be metallic. Lighter red. Full roughness. Specular. So one thing we're going to need to make sure is I'm going to need to make sure the way it's lit, and maybe that would help if I lit it from the back a little bit, but make sure that the instruments on each podium stand out. The podiums aren't what you're supposed to be looking at. It's the instruments that you're supposed to be looking at. I also though wonder, I talked about incorporating the shapes into the instruments. I wonder if I could find a way to turn this into a triangle. So it's on the triangular podium, obviously, but it's also, the instrument itself uses triangles as well. What if notes are played like that? Like across a triangle or something? Or... See, because I feel like just taking this and turning it into a triangle isn't that interesting? And then laser here, zzz, laser here. Zzz. I don't think that's interesting enough. This will be something that will be solved in the next time stream. So this is what we have at the end of this stream. We have this. We have a MIDI file. That's all very exciting. I'll have the MIDI file play us out. But thank you for being here. There were quite a few people that jumped in. Obviously, huge thanks to you, 8th, because you were here the whole time, and I really do greatly appreciate that. This is definitely something, I had so much fun doing this. I love answering your questions. I love getting people's feedback. It means a lot. So thank you all for joining me as we do this. I'm excited to share my process. I will take any and all feedback. And yeah, share this with your friends, the rest of the server if you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see all of you soon. Have a good night. Bye. I always say that, and I never have the stop streaming window open, so it's kind of pointless because I gotta hit stop streaming. All right, bye.